What is going on, everybody? Tis I, Photo Dave, and this is the Toy Picks Thursday night live stream where we're just going to discuss a myriad of topics. That's right, myriad. Plenty of Barbarians seem to be going up for pre-order. Transformers reissues are just kind of placating everybody's Transformers collection, perhaps. Beyithirr actually is fully funded, and I got my first Mythic Legions guy. So we'll talk a little bit about all of that. We'll talk a little bit about the G.I. Joe live stream that happened earlier this week as well, and just see where the chat takes us. Now, obviously, before I really get going too crazy here, I would be remiss to not remind all the Patreon people and all the people who'd like to become a patron at the $5 or above tier. The $5 tier is the Grande tier, that this is the photo contest that's currently running. It is spring as far as the theme is concerned. So what you'll do, you'll take a picture, you'll go to the link in the video description below, which will send you to the post that has all the details for this, and you go from there. So that's what we got as far as the shamelessness on Patreon. Again, I'll be doing a lot more there, and things are going to get crazy over there very soon. The studio's coming together, not done, but it's getting really close. I also want to mention that while the live streams will likely always be figure focused, and when I say that, it will always have figures that we focus on, but I might try and do a little more photography mixed in with that. But I don't know. That doesn't seem to do so well on the live streams. But while the live streams might be that way, the videos moving forward will be a lot more photography based and action figure based and all that, because I want to make sure that we're not losing sight, that I'm not losing sight of what Toy Picks is going to be. Plus, one last little piece here. I will be at MuskieCon in Muskegon, Michigan this weekend, this Saturday, starting at 10. I'm going to actually try and be there pretty much when doors open. So look for the short dude in the red shirt if you're attending. And if you are attending, let me know in the chat. Send me a DM somewhere. We'll talk. We'll see what's up. It's not, I'm just going to be somebody hanging out. I don't have a booth or anything like that. So if we run into each other, absolutely awesome. Now, let me see. I had the phone going off there. Usually that doesn't happen. Oh, man. I'm going to have to get a hold of a buddy of mine after the stream here. But anyway, let's jump to the chat, see what everybody's got going on. Oh, we have Sci-Fi. He's got things to say. Greetings and toytations, everyone. Okay, I admit it. I got Beyithirr funded. Nice. 807 for the Dragon and Flame kit plus tax and shipping. Oy vey. But shop pay allowed me to break it down to 4. Nice, Sci-Fi. I wondered about that. I tried paying for, I think I mentioned it with the Musk, and somehow I did it wrong, and I got charged the whole thing. I'm good for it. I could cover it, but it was a little depressing. Had to figure things out real quick. Payments of $201.90. So I pulled the trigger. Like Angel said in the last scene of its series finale, I always wanted to fight a dragon. Friday the 21st between 1 and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Valiverse will have a... I was going to try and carry on that A, but I started annoying myself. Let's see, Wounded Sale, along with some retired figures and the Chrome Helmet Steel Brigade con exclusives. I got that Cobra Mech Snake on pre-order. Nice. That thing looks like a beast. I do like the look of it. I gotta say that. So much toy goodness, so little time. Now, back to you, Dave. Hope to see you this Saturday at MuskieCon. Oh, I will be there, George. I can't wait. Hope to see you as well, sir. Star, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in today. Woo, oh, the party's definitely started, Spaded One. Now that you're here, of course. Sci-Fi, oh boy, greetings to the people. What's up, Skew? Good to see you, man. Spaded One, got my Jadis Cyberpunk David today. Oh, man, this guy is a game changer. Joint smooth like Mofex. See, I was ready to go with smooth like butter, but smooth like Mofex. That's basically saying the same thing. Soft goods are more than good enough. 10 out of 10. Dang, it looks like I definitely need to get cracking on building my Jada army here. I mean, I've got a pretty good sized army, but clearly I need to add to it. Star, awesome to hear, brother. Mine are still in transit, but you've got them on their way, Star. And the only thing better than that is getting them in your grubby little hands. Ooh, Mythic Dolphin, what's going on? Hello, good to see you. Oh, it will be good time, Skew. I haven't been to a con in probably, I was thinking about it. I bet it's been almost 20 years. So I'm really looking forward to it. Got a hold of a buddy. I'm like, dude, you want to go to a nerd convention with me? And he never really gets out of the house. So he had a shot and he's like, yes. So me and a buddy of mine are heading up, which should be kind of nuts. He actually went with me to the Wizard Con that I went to in Chicago years ago, along with another pal of mine. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. This will be funny. He'll probably be mocking me the whole time, but I can fire back. It'll be okay. Spaded one star, waited on Lucy, but David is simply amazing. You're in for a treat. Man, they both look so good. David, especially, just because he's got more of the soft goods, but Lucy looks like she's going to be wicked as well. Skew, congrats on that. Woo. That is nice, George. Ooh, that's a big dragon. Star, let's see. I'm taking the day off from work on the scheduled date. I needed to be here. You know what happened, Star? You can't do that. Okay, so I'll order stuff and it'll either come via FedEx or DHL for the most part. Once in a while, USPS ends up in there too. FedEx, I can never count on. They're generally 2 days late, and they hit that limbo part where they're like, we don't know what to do about updates right now. And then suddenly they're a couple days late. They eventually get here, but I could never set it like that because then DHL on the opposite side is usually at least a day early. And that's domestic even, which didn't used to be the case. Oh, but that's all right. I'm hoping they show up on that day for you, man. Let's see. Ooh, Clankatron. Hey, everyone. Beyithirr looks so cool, but it's too much for me. I get that, man. I did, however, go in on the HasLab Leo Kaiser. Nice. That thing looks incredible too. We had three things hit at once. We had Leo Kaiser, we had the Musk, and we had Beyithirr. And I'm just sitting there like I I was on a loop, basically. I had no idea what to do. So as I said earlier, I got the Musk. I think Beyithirr will end up being mine. We'll see. I might try and make a deal. It sounds like Jeremy's going to be at MuskyCon. So when I head up there, I'm going to be like, you know what? Here's the deal. If I get Beyithirr, you come to the home office of Toy Picks and sit down for a little stream or a chat. Bring Trevor with you so he can show me how to shoot this thing. You know, we'll see. We'll see. I might be into dealing. Let's see, when would be an appropriate time to start the hype for Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Maine, and Rebecca? How about now? No, Star. You wait till you've got the other two in hand. And then when that happens, and when you're absolutely blown away at that point, then I think the hype begins. Although Spaded one, it sounds like the hype can begin anyway since he's got David. Let's see. Yep. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Skew 20 years. Yes, it's time to re-nerd up. Nerd charge, nerdiness. I'm so ready. Like it's been so long. I'm not like I'm one of those people that can kind of just get along and blend in with most anybody, and I'm cool with a lot of different types of people. But it's been so long since I've gotten to hang out with the nerd people, and I'm feeling extra nerd people-y lately. I need to mix it up. Star, anyone thinks that Jada will announce new IPs at the next con, or will they just advance the count for IPs they've already shown? Star, they gotta. I'd like to say my preference. Oh man, I don't even know that that's a preference. What I was going to say is I'd like them to worry about tackling what they're already doing so we can complete things like Street Fighter 2 and all that. but I'd be really stoked to see them show something off too. I think honestly, if you're not growing, you're dying. I think what's going to happen is they're going to show some new IP, but that's just a guess. We'll see if I'm right. Uncarded reviews. What's up, Dragon? Dragon. Yep. Did you get one uncarded reviews? Beyithirr big, Dragon large. Star. Let's see one here, and they just keep the jadedness jading. Nice. Expand the cool lines they have. Keep all awesome on full awesomeness. See, and that's something else. You know what I love about what Jada's doing is their trickle releasing. Like I know that everybody wants just everything now, and I myself would prefer that they kind of do that. But at the same time, I everything they do gets knocked out of the park. So I'm just stoked to see what they're doing next. On the other hand, Skew is right. If you spread yourself way too thin, your jadedness is going to disappear and you're going to be like everybody else. And we don't want that to happen. But again, as long as they keep with these slow releases, I think we're going to be okay. Spaded one. I'd like to see Jada finish some stuff before adding more. Finish Street Fighter before starting another game. Finish Edge Runners before starting another show, etc. Oh man, who all would they do from Edge Runners? I mean, obviously they've got the main team and all that, but ooh, I'm sure there's a finite number that they've got in mind. Uncarded was just about to was just about to back the dragon, but then Blitzway dropped the DeLorean. What? Oh, I didn't know. I don't know about this. We might be having a little chat about the DeLorean too. Star Skew Raider, they're really good at that. Spaded one, keep things focused so nothing gets left behind. See, that's how I tend to think you should go. If they were kind of Marvel Legendsing it right now and dropping just tons of figures every month, then I would definitely be in your camp, Spaded one, with no doubt. I would say, whoa, guys, slow down. You're losing what makes these figures awesome. But they're releasing them so slowly right now. I feel like they could still keep their jadedness as they grow into other lines. But I could be wrong. So hopefully, whatever they do, everything still looks sweet when they do it. Skew, always good to feel nerd people play. Nerd people play? Nerd peoply. All right, I got it. Man, Skew, I don't even know what to say about me. That one was totally on me. Let's go with that. Spaded one. Seriously, guys, this $45 Jada figure is holding its own on my Mezco shelf with the pricey boys. Oh man, see, that's what you like to hear. That's when you bring out kind of the value discussion, you know? I worked in FedEx, and the way that works is the packages on destination are sorted the night before. If they don't sort it by 4 to 9, it won't make it out. That's not including line haul. What is line haul, Ghost Tav? See, Skew backstage, maintain full jadedness. We'll see. Hopefully they can. Hopefully they can. Do you guys think that Jada will continue to stick with non-real life characters from their respective lines, or will they attempt someone from live action? I think they're mastering the cartoon, guys. You know, sticking with the cartoon style, I think would, oh man, I think that would be good for them to show kind of a real niche, you know, or niche, whatever way you want to go. When did I get fancy? I always used to say niche. Anyway, stick right there. I think the cartoon figures would be a great way to go. But one of the things people do kind of criticize them on is that maybe say like the Street Fighter faces aren't quite as defined maybe as they could be. So it would be nice if maybe, I don't know, the brand man in my head is saying stick with cartoon figures. The nerd in me is saying, no, no, let's see what you can do with real life stuff. That's see, I have arguments with myself like that all the time. All right, let's go a couple more and get going. I'm chomping at the bit for something good to make StarCraft 2 figs. Am I wasting my time slash energy hoping for something that vague? I don't know, Star. I'm wondering if Jada were to make those, you'd go for them. So here's what I would recommend. If they're not being done by SHF or 3.0 and Jada doesn't do them, you don't even have to worry about them. So just watch those three lines or those three companies, and then you'll find out. You'll know. Mythic Dolphin. The only toy con I travel to is Legion's Con in November. It's our family annual vacation. See, that's cool. My daughter will be 10 this year and she loves missing one day of school. Man, I'm not quite 10. I love missing days of work. So that works. We all have fun, dad, daughter, and mom. See, that just sounds so cool, Mythic Dolphin. That just sounds like a blast. How far are you from Legion's Con? Like for me, it's going to be, I mean, I'm going a little out of my way to pick up my buddy. It's probably going to be around 2 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours, somewhere in there to get there. But it's in the same state, so I get to argue that, I guess. Spaded one. Jada's still getting better and better. Look at the Universal Monster stuff and compare it to Street Fighter. Only a few years apart, and now they're doing competitive soft goods. Sky's the limit. It's true. It's definitely true. And you know what? That should be brought up as well. They did Universal Monsters stuff, so they did stuff that was based on more realistic properties. So I need to add those to my Jada army to see what I think. Blitzway has a new Back to the Future 2 1/6 scale hover DeLorean going up for pre-order in about an hour. It's actually less than the all-in cost of the Dragon. Wow. All right. Well, with that, let's knock our boy Usagi off of here. Sorry, Usagi. You are a fine samurai rabbit. And let's go with, what do I have in order? Let's just start right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Barbarians are going up like mad lately. We have the Conan the Barbarian from Icon Collectibles. Now, I had these windows called up, but I haven't even looked at the figures. I will say, looking at this thing, the sculpt looks amazing. And I can't tell much else. Let's see. Let's keep going here. Whoo, that looks like a painting. They did a great job on that shot. Okay. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what's going on with some of this as far as articulation schemes go. Like, as you guys know, for me, the reason I stayed out of Mythic Legion so long is because of how the articulation didn't look to work all that great. This articulation looks like it works pretty well. Can't tell what's going on. Doesn't look like much is going on as far as butterflies are concerned. But oftentimes what happens, like I did a comparison video of several of my female figures because everybody was talking about their range for G.I. Joe versus Valor, stuff like that. And so I'm trying to remember which figures I used. It was, I know, hell, I shouldn't say that. I can't remember who it was, but basically the Valorverse figures did a great job, and it all had to do with how they were sculpted. Like they didn't have butterfly joints, but they still were able to get the range that a lot of companies' butterfly joints actually work to achieve. So maybe butterfly joints aren't as necessary as I was thinking. On the other hand, the female figures tend to have thinner torsos, so they can be sculpted in a way that can bring their arms a little closer together. So I don't know how this is going to work as far as articulation. For a figure that you need to shoot with your camera or your smartphone, this guy looks like he's going to do really well. I can't tell what's going on at the waist. The way that he's posed like this, you definitely have the double diaphragm going on here, the double, what is it, the barbell joint or whatever. And I would think if they had that going on up there, they would have bent this a little in that direction. But it's possible that this isn't a ball peg here. But if it can turn and it doesn't really, like because of this belt and everything, he might count as being photogenic. I don't know. I don't know. But obviously, a head, plenty of extra hands, plenty of weapons. I don't know, man. This seems to be the year of the barbarian, and it's looking good. It's looking very good. Let's see, what do we have here? Ghost tab. Line haul or mainline is when shipper sends to origin hub, sorts to destination, 1 night of sorting slash loading. Travel time, arrival to destination hub, 1 night of sorting, departing to. Okay, okay. Gotcha, Ghost tab. Thank you. Interesting. I don't know hardly anything about the logistics there. Skew cartoons, video games, anime, Jada Wheelhouse. I think the third party, fully licensed companies are killing the live action with soft goods, in my humble opinion. Third parties looking remarkable. I think what's going to happen, like we talked a little bit ago about, wow, words seem very pausy tonight, but we talked a little bit ago about are the third parties, are the independents gonna start kind of taking over. And I think with what they're able to do, I think they might. So what makes me think that is if the legacy toy lines that are out there now, because let's face it, most of the stuff that people are pushing started out in the 80s and 90s at this point, most of that stuff, because newer entertainment, newer media, newer games, movies, comics, TV. Comics don't have much of an audience at all. TV doesn't have much of an audience. It's all streaming now. Movies seem to not have much of an audience. Basically, the point is, unless these places can just figure out how to really start mainlining this stuff into people's brains, then these properties are all going to die. So I'm seeing a future where the independents are completely prepared to and will take over. So I keep seeing this kind of stuff. I keep seeing the cloth goods on everybody else's stuff. It's incredible. I just it's all so good. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds, but yeah. Mainline hot, rush ground delivery. Okay. Okay. After I said mainline, go me. Mainline hot is rush delivery. Okay. I think I've got you now, Ghost Tab. But in case not, let's see. Easier way to remember. Line haul equals warehouse to warehouse. Okay. Okay. That's helpful. See, Spaded One, you're spot on with that call. Yep. Spaded One makes some good calls, Star. Let's see, Jada can do it, but what they do is so needed and not done as well by anyone else, especially the advertising and characters line. That's true. I mean, the corporate mascots figures, man, I love my Chesters. I can't wait for that Tony the Tiger. Northern Virginia, 6 hours, no traffic, double width. Oh no. So of course you guys are trying to leave at like, I don't know. I would say 7, 8 p.m. That's probably not right. But I bet if you do leave about then, your kid loves it. She's like, yes, I'm staying up late. Or she falls asleep in the car like my niece does. Skew, double jointed knees on Conan. Yep, I did notice that. Spaded One feels like a lot of Conan has come out or been announced recently. I know, man. They had what was it? Mezco announced the Arnold Conan with the camo look on him. Then this is going on. Death Dealer. We'll be talking about him. Things are crazy right now. Skew elbows not. If this is the same one I'm thinking, can see the knees. Yeah, I think you're right. Like when we're really looking at this, it didn't look like I'm wondering, so let me show, hold on. Let me break this down real quick. I want to show you guys because every review I see doesn't seem to do as much as I would like to see with all this. So this is Sir Gideon, Heaven's Brand. And one of the big complaints with Mythic Legions, I think, that I had is oftentimes what would happen is, say, let's see, there we go. That might be all the bend you get out of a character. But recently it's gone more into like a 90-degree bend. Hang on, let's see if I can show that a little better. There we go. And this guy, in spite of all the armor, and he is single jointed, can get a bit more than 90, which I'm good with. I like just more than 90, especially when you have a big suit of armor like this. I'm totally good with that. I don't have a complaint there because I figure this guy can't do ninja moves or he's going to fall over. So it's possible with all that armor, the fact that he can still bend that much, it's possible that that Conan is going to be able to have at least that much bend, possibly more, even with a single jointed elbow. At least that's kind of what I'm hoping. Let's jump back to that Conan real quick so that we don't lose it. And let me try and get a better picture. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. It's always interesting to look at the photos and see that they're not necessarily showing the angle of the arms, you know? Because they know I'm a snob. On Carded Reviews, I pre-ordered this Conan figure directly from Frazetta Girl's website, and it's about $20 less than BBTS. Nice. All right, guys, if you're going to get this Conan, Frazetta Girl's website, that's where you go. Yeah, I've noticed BBTS is they're charging quite a bit more, and that's probably has to do with the fact that they allow the $4 shipping thing. Because for some of those pile of loots I've seen out there, that's, I mean, you get why they charge more, but man, if you're not building up a pile of loot, BBTS is getting pricier and pricier. It's getting kind of tricky, but they're still the top dog in town and they take care of their customers. So it's getting tricky. It all depends on what you want to spend, and I haven't heard anything bad about shipping when it comes to Frazetta Girls either. So I think that $20 cheaper is probably something I'd seriously look at if you're just ordering Conan. I almost pre-ordered that one about an hour ago. It's those single jointed arms. Besides, Jada Edge Runners and DLX Transformers, I need to stop looking. I see nothing but green, calm pastures. Ah, that's one of the hazards of doing stuff like this is I'm constantly trying to see what's new so I can keep talking to you guys about all this stuff. And I'm like, ooh, that looks cool. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, look at that new shiny over there. Yeah, Spaded. I didn't want to miss Conan. Conan's joint, so many offerings. Brutal in this one. Had my attention. Brutal wins articulation. The Brutal Realm Conan. I think I saw a render of it. Mythic Dolphin. Mythic Legion's articulation has improved. New double neck joint. Some have double elbows, 7 knees, swappable, or let's see, 7 knee, double elbows. I'm going with, or oh, okay. Slash knees, swappable chest plates on figures with chest plates, etc. Yeah, I noticed with what was it, the Leodicius wave, that there's a lot more like the what is it, Windaji, the cackler, and oh, what is he? The Pride of Leandor. Is that what it's called? Leandor, the Roman gladiator looking dude. I noticed that they're full on double joints, so I definitely want to check those out as well as Leodicius. Let's see, I also took advantage of the Harbinger Studios for Zeta Death Dealer figure. It was about $50. I saw that if you pay everything up front, in fact, how about we go to that right now? I've got that one ready to go as well. Oh, where are you at? All right, so we've got the early bird price, and let's see, Pre-order for Frazetta's Death Dealer on Harbinger. 43 days, 4 hours, 29 minutes, 14 seconds. Early bird price right here is 60, it says, and that's paying in full at checkout. Or you pay 70, and that's, let's see, a $5 non-refundable deposit. Pay the rest when your figure ships. So there you go as far as Death Dealer is concerned, and I want to see more pictures. This can't be the only picture. Don't let this be the only picture. Here we go. Oh, okay. I don't even, ladies and gents, you know me. If you've been watching for a while, you know I don't even know about Conan and this stuff, but this guy looks sweet. That's right, sweet. Ooh, that's just mean. And I know, well, I shouldn't say I know. Didn't Mezco make a Death Dealer, or at least solicit a Death Dealer last year, or maybe a couple years ago? Oh, wow. Mix and match Helms. Ooh. All right, well, there's Death Dealer. He looks like he's into dealing some death. He's an angry, angry guy. Spaded one, Jada should do an SDCC exclusive 12-inch Jolly Green Giant. You know what they need to do? We need to see how cocky Jada is or how hardcore people are for Jada. They need to crowdfund a 2-foot Green Giant. I think that's where we're at. I mean, 1 foot, that's only twice as big as their figures. We need a 2 to 3 foot Jolly Green Giant. And you know they're going to want to put all the bells and whistles into it. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Between Spaded One basically just came out with Jada's very first crowdfund. Who's in? Star, I think that books will always be there. Where, let's see, when Conan first rose to popularity, there weren't any movies, comics, or TV to promote the stories. It was all through novels. Same with everything Tolkien. And that might be, but even so, books have to make it into everybody's brains, you know? Like they just got to promote the crap out of this stuff. If you want to anticipate delivery, FedEx does timestamps. Internally is when truck arrives, then arrival scan tunnel and sort/load scan at delivery truck. That's why you see so many scans at a warehouse. Okay. I have noticed that when FedEx is delivering stuff. And I know there's a time when it's like there's almost a black hole of time where it sounds like the way they word it online almost sounds like, oh crap, should I be worried? But then a couple days later, it gets updated and all's good. FedEx is the one that frightens me the most, Ghost Dev. Let's see, hang in there, Mythic Dolphin, with that Nova traffic. Northern Virginia, haha, go me. I've had a taste a couple times years ago. Oh no. Let's see. Hello, Paul. Good to see you, man. Skew, going forward, bring the double jointed to all of these awesome figures, Mythic Legions. I heard from Art G that they might hopefully start maybe after an upcoming wave. Not confirmed, but hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Well, I'm hoping, but Mr. Stabby is angry about it. The old wallet is not stoked at all. Tragic. What's up, sir? Hello, Dave and Chet. Going to be driving to the store for some beer to cheers with you all. Cheers, sir. Good to see you tonight, Tragic. It's always a blast when you're able to show up. Although in that cup was merely some good old-fashioned high-quality H2O. Anton, what is up, man? The last of the Time Lords is indeed here. Skew, Star, Elbows, agreed. Conan, Crowman from Brutal Realm is my main focus, articulation and aesthetics. What was the one? I might have to go back and look a little more. There was the one in Brutal Realm that kind of reminded me of Darth Vader. I'm like, that guy's awesome. Stinking Brick was on here talking it up, and I kept looking at that stuff going, oh, stop it, Brick. Everything looks so good. Mythic. Some Mythic Legions figures are now being produced with some double joints and more going forward. Yeah, that's awesome. And that's both incredibly cool and somewhat disheartening for the wallet. The wallet's going to be angry, but it shall eventually recover. That Rosetta, this art is really cool with Death Dealer. Yeah. I mean, they knew what was up with the shots for this guy. I'm definitely going to be looking at a lot of this for inspiration going forward. Daredevil Born Again is well worth it. It is awesome. Anton, I have seen Daredevil Born Again, all the episodes. That scene, without giving anything away, because I don't know who all's watching and maybe who all hasn't seen it, the scene where the two characters are kind of back and forth, that, Matt just kind of discovers the guy hiding out. I mean, I'm sure everybody's probably heard about that, but that scene of the two of them arguing back and forth, ooh, that hit. That had to hit hard in episode 4. Paul, Star Spaded, woohoo! Yep. Thank you for saying hi to the people, Paul. It's always appreciated. This is what makes coming in here, checking out the chat, such a blast. Is all of you getting to have your own conversations too. Oh, whew. That was tough to say for a minute. These heads and Mezco loose, let's see, are in play to go with Brutal Realm bodies for me later. The bodies annoy me. I'm so annoyed by the bodies. They make me mad. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Thanks for the tip. Gotta check them out. Yeah, we talked Brutal Realm. I don't know. It's been a couple months anyway, but they looked insane. Ooh. Saw that Death Dealer from Harbinger Savage Crucible. Awesome. Sweet. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, this guy, this is leaving nothing to the imagination. This guy can move. Let's see, which has the horse Death Dealer? Don't know. Death Dealer's horse? I couldn't tell you on that one. Green Giant. Ho, ho, ho. I went backwards there. Egad, man. Loose Collector. Okay. Thanks, Uncarded. Appreciate it. Star, this is such a quandary. If I get Conan, then it's just going to keep reminding me of the SHF Lord of the Rings I'm having to give up to free up funds. I can't do this. Where does this madness end? Star, this madness never ends. When this madness ends, we'll all be sad. So enjoy it while you can. And when bad, Star, just look at the pretty pictures. Or just take some pretty pictures of your own. Oh, me with all my pauses. Feel like I should just keep. Maybe not. I don't know. You see a lot of scans because almost every timestamp is a touch of package, especially with their faster services like FedEx Express and FedEx Home Delivery. Okay. I'm wondering, I haven't done, what is it? BBTS from time to time uses FedEx. I've gotten more DHL from them recently. And I'm trying to remember all the little stamps on there. Because as soon as I see something shipped, I get super impatient and I start looking at all the stamps, like all the updates. Stabby is not entertained. Oh, Skew, you have no idea. I had to lock Stabby up tonight. Stabby does not like all this Beyithirr talk. Super 7 also has a comic version of Conan the Barbarian available for pre-order now. I think I remember seeing that. We don't talk about none of them Super 7s here, only because they're 1/10 scale, not any other reason. Skew, he's the main baddie. I cannot remember the name. Fire figure that's ordered. Have to look it up. Yeah, the one that looks like Darth Vader. I know, I'm sure it's on BBTS's site somewhere. Star, I'd be curious to see what Jada could do with an IP of their own, like Mezco did with their Rumble Society. Ooh, I wonder. I mean, they've got to be doing pretty well with all the cars. I mean, the cars is, I assume, what made them their money in the first place. Their figures are, at least critically, they've been received very well. But how much are they getting out of there besides that? Like, I would love it if their figures were being bought by kids. If they found a way to be like, yep, absolutely, skew. If they found a way to get kids, like they almost need to reverse engineer it so that kids are playing Street Fighter 2 and then have the figures ready to go. Like, oh, there you go. Reissue. Okay, Capcom, here we go. Here's what you got. You reissue Street Fighter 2. And in Street Fighter 2, there's a little mini catalog with the Jada Street Fighter figures. And Jada, what you do is after Capcom re releases Street Fighter 2, you have a thing in your deal where maybe it's a QR code or whatever, where the kid can order Street Fighter 2. So now the kid has figures and can order the game, or the kid gets the game and can order the figures. That way, oh, look at that. It's all coming together. I won't use the S word because it made me sad to hear it all the time. But yeah, this is how we work it. But again, you got to get the marketing out there. That would be so much fun. I would totally sit down and be like, yes, I'm ordering Street Fighter 2 again. Poor Daredevil can't even say Foggy's name. I know, Anton. I know that one's leaving a mark. He does look good, doesn't he, Grizzlehorn? I don't have it, but no one has ever seen anything bad or said anything bad about. Well, wait a sec. I was going to say Conan, but you're talking Death Dealer at this point, aren't you? On the other hand, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything bad about Death Dealer either. Tragic. I really want to get that Death Dealer. I'm pleased with the Savage Crucible articulation. Mez did make a Death Dealer a couple years ago. Loose Collector as the one with the horse. Man, so everybody's jumping in on this. Is it that, is this kind of public domain now? Like, it seems to me this is all kind of Frazetta's style, but would Frazetta's style be public domain? I guess it could be. I don't know, but like, why is all this stuff coming at once? Tragic. I can't wait for my dragon, but I can wait long enough to move out to a bigger place. Tragic. Are you moving? Are you going to a bigger place? That would be cool. And then, like, the dragon just gets its own room. Star, I still want punch out figs from Jada. Just saying. Oh man, how would they do the hologram guy? That would be sweet. Like you, like the player one. That's just basically, it's basically Galvatron, but with light green or with green lines. You know, when Megatron was being turned into Galvatron and he had all the purple lines. That's basically what your character would be. See, I really want to see Jada keep going down the cloth goods route. $35 to $45 figures in 112 scale and full soft goods is a new market entirely. They're changing every game. Like, they're just, I don't even know what to say about how good Jada's stuff is, but it's got a phenomenal critical reception. Now it just needs to hit mainstream reception. And I don't know how to do that. Star, the player fig could be translucent plastic. Oh, not bad. Maybe instead of green lines, have like a green tint to the translucency. Sci-fi Daredevil is great. Unfortunately, just like in the comics, the actor that plays the White Tiger has passed away. I saw that. And I don't know, I haven't been paying much attention to the comics recently. I didn't know who White Tiger was until, was there a Spider-Man cartoon or something with a white tiger? I mean, yeah, I've been bad at comics too. Like, when I go to MuskyCon, I have no idea what I'm coming back with. I might have trade paperbacks. It might be no toys are bought, and I'm coming back with books. I don't know. Let's see. Have the girls and the son each doing releases. Thus, it seems public. I love it. Just want them to add articulation. The girls, the ones that they're doing, the figures, the sculpts are remarkable. I wish they had a little more articulation, but those sculpts are killer. Tragic. After my wife heals after her second knee surgery, we're looking for a bigger house. Basement is mine for all of my diorama making and toy photography. Dude, forget trying to tell the Mythic Legions guys to come to Toy Pick, or yeah, come to the home office of Toy Picks. We're sending them to your place. That's gonna be sweet. I of course expect pictures. And this is, has she had her second knee surgery or is she getting prepped for it? Like, I assume it's a little ways down the road because that's what she was recovering from recently as her first knee surgery, right? Anton Taylor versus Batman. All the DC characters are public domain soon, too. Yes, the tiger amulet gets passed down to his niece. Okay. Got it, sci fi. Thank you. This is going to be, yeah. And he did a great job in that series, too. Like, the White Tiger was phenomenal. Ultimate Spider Man, horrible show, had White Tiger's daughter wearing the amulet as the new White Tiger. Okay. I wonder, yeah, anything they had, what was it? They had an Avengers cartoon that was kind of the same as that Spider-Man one. They had a Guardians of the Galaxy one, and they were just so generic schlock kind of stuff. And yet I was still sitting there watching, but it was almost like, so when I work with stuff on in the background that I don't have to think about. Like I like noise, so I'll put on movies that I know really well because I won't look up, but I have some noise going on in the background. Or I'll put on a album or something that I know really well, or play John Williams on YouTube, whatever, right? Just stuff I know really well. I'll leave it on. I could work during those shows because nothing really mattered on those shows. And it's not like I really saw them, it's not like I paid much attention to them, but they were just so meh that it just didn't matter, which was weird. It's sad to say. See, Clankatron, I only knew a white tiger from the Ultimate Spider Man show. Yeah, I think we're kind of in the same boat when it comes to not knowing much there. I think the white tiger appeared in spite of super stories. I could be wrong. In spite of super stories, I kind of like that. That should be the name of a comic. Well, if you're going to that convention, I can make recommendations. So says the last of the Time Lords. Anton, I don't know, man. I don't know. I might have to look at. I'll tell you what I'm looking at potentially. The Mythic booth. I might look at the, what is it? The legendary Barbarian, but I'm not sure I'd get him for me because he doesn't have much range in the elbow, so he probably wouldn't be mine. But I am kind of considering some of the skeleton characters from Mythic Legions, maybe the hand pack for Sir Gideon. Then I don't know, see what they've got as far as Jada. See if they've got some of the old Jada figures. It's just going to be fun to see stuff that I haven't seen in a long time, you know? Sci-fi, the best season of Avengers Assembled was when they fought the Squadron Supreme, aka Justice League. I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, wait a sec. How did I miss this? Great, googly moogly. Dealer riding around Gotham on a horse in armor, dealing, and then Batman deals with him. Okay, that would be fun. Batman be like, oh no, there will be none of this, Death Dealer. I will take you down now. The best season of Avengers Assembled. That's right. Okay, okay. Now I'm caught up. Avengers Assembled. That's what it was. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was good. I was a fan of that. The first Avengers show called Earth's Mightiest Heroes was really good. Yep, I'm totally with you, Anton. I did dig that one. Tragic. Thanks, man. You'll get an invite too. This is a whole new surgery on the other knee. she was in the healing process and then overcome. Oh no. You hear about that too, like a lot of that kind of stuff goes down. That sucks. But hey, on the plus side, when she's done, she's going to be totally all kneed and ready to go. Like there won't be any more knee problems. And I bet she's going to be very stoked about that. She had the surgery, hence why I've been absent from the streams. Okay. Whew, Avengers, Earth's Mightiest is peak Avengers and best portrayal of Doctor Doom. That Doom was sweet. I think, what I liked about it was their portrayal of Captain America. Like once they saved him. With Tragic Hero, I hope your wife, or with Tragic Hero, I hope your wife gets better soon. She puts up with Tragic. She's got to be pretty tough. I had to take the shot. It's too easy when you guys can't talk back. That's terrible, isn't it? Toy Odyssey, what is up, man? Good to see you. What is up, Dave and folks? I think we're all sitting here having a good time tonight, talking Barbarians, talking all the things. We have a Tragic wishing you all healing and a speedy recovery. Yeah, it's gonna be like, it sounds like her recovery has been a long one, but she's gonna feel so good when all that's done. All right. Now I believe, let me go to one more thing. I was going to sit here and say, well, I buried the lead enough, but let's face it, we'll be plenty good about talking about our boy Beyithirr. I want to go to the G.I. Joe classified, let's see here, and talk a little bit about what's going on with these guys. How'd that happen? Oh, Flint sold out. Okay, hang on. Let me share this. Oh, go away, death dealer. So I assume you guys caught the G.I. Joe live stream. And nothing here really, Flint's my man. Flint's the guy. Flint is the greatest of all G.I. Joe characters. But I don't know what I was going with, but there. Here's what I was trying to say. All the 85 figures should be treated with respect. And Footloose, very close to being treated with respect, but he doesn't have extra hands. Makes me sad. Now, here's what I'm wondering, though, and a figure that's not up for pre-order yet is the green shirt. Now, I don't care about the green shirt. I've never liked the idea of green shirts in G.I. Joe. I understand them having to have support, but when I think of G.I. Joe, I think more tech support, people to make sure that the jets are taking off smoothly, stuff like that. Not combatants so much. The combatants and the spies and all that, that's G.I. Joe itself. That's the main members that we all know and put up with. At least in the case of Duke. Everybody else we all know and love. But that's what I'm thinking when it comes to the green shirts, is they shouldn't be there for combat. So what I'm wondering is, if I pick up a green shirt, could I pick up the retro Stalker? Like, do those flesh tones match? Because I love Stalker as a character. I'd love to get a hold of him. And then what about, could the colors on the soldier, on the green shirt, would that match Footloose's hands as well? So that's right. I would basically pick that thing up for 2 pairs of hands, which is horrible, but I would consider it. So that's kind of where I'm at with all this stuff. And like I say, sorry, Greg. Like I say, that's not up for pre-order just yet. I will look at Law and Order. Obviously, they are loaded with all kinds of hands. Well, Order's not so much. But he does have a good boy head that everybody loves to talk about. And the excitement, of course, with Law and Order is the fact that he comes with so much stuff, or that they come with so much stuff. There we go. That looks like a good pack-in. And I'm honestly tempted to get this not for Law so much, but I think Order looks really cool. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Law and Order was never something that, like, I have Mutton Junkyard. So it feels like it would be a little redundant, but it's still a good looking set. So we'll see. But the green shirt I'm tempted by based on what the skin tones are going to be for him versus a character like Footloose and a character like Stalker, because I would totally bogart his hands to put him on those two. Let's go a little more. Toy Odyssey, that Frazetta Girls Conan went up for order today. Easy buy. Yeah, we saw one Conan that was the Icon Collectibles, right? Or was it Frazetta Girls? We were looking at the one earlier. Let's see. Doom, Kang, Leader, UFO, Zemo. All great on Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I forgot about Zemo. Zemo was even good too. You're right. Anton, a few years ago at Comic Con, I found the Conan comic book that I first got from my grandmother many years ago. Everyone that I knew read it practically to death, so I had to get another one. Nice. You know what's weird is I'm pretty sure when you said read it, you really meant it like how I read it, but it decided that you must be talking about Reddit, the website, which is very strange. Siri, you need to stop being wacky like that. Darklon, Footloose faves, Hawk and Snake Armor, awesome. Jeffrey Lyles had a great idea. Get the green shirt, add a mustache to the head for Retro Stalker. See, that would be a good idea too. But see, I just get Retro Stalker and see if I could see if the hands matched. But hopefully somebody will do that with a review. I like Jeffrey Lyles. He seems like he's having a good time. Clankatron, yeah, I don't think G.I. Joe needs green shirts, but I'm still picking them up just to have someone for Cobra to fight. Hey, no judgment. At least you're setting them up for somebody for Cobra to fight. I'm considering picking them up because of hands. I was thinking about mixing them up with other figures parts too. Yep, that's what I'm wondering. I would love to be able to pick up a stalker. Truly, like that's my excitement when I saw the green shirt. I ended up ordering two snakes, Footloose and Law and Order. Nice. The Footloose, man. Yeah, anything 85, I'm like, yes, necessary. Skew, retro Footloose, hoped for with more leaves. We'll probably add some Michael's plants tiny to this Footloose. I don't, you know what's crazy? They could make retro versions of tons of the figures that they've got. They just haven't done it, but they've got plenty planned out, I'm sure. Also, love Law and Order too. Yeah, yeah. I'm not judging the quality. I love listening to Lenny talk about the design process on all this stuff. He's such a nerd for this stuff, and it's awesome. I love hearing it. So hopefully one day he can make extra hands standard. I totally agree, Mr. Matson. I'm just wondering for my collection, is it redundant since I also have Mutton Junkyard? And I don't have very many Joes, so how many MPs with dogs do I need? Anton, there you go. What's of hands, two extra rifles, a baton, nice dog, and an extra head? That's true too. I didn't think of that. We could break open a lot of hands with Law and Order. Sci-Fi Hasbro came out with a new movie 86 Perceptor that comes with Rat Bat and Rhinosaur. Already sold out. It's sold out on Hasbro Pulse. Is it sold out on Target yet? That was something that I wanted to talk about. Is some of the G.I. Joe stuff, or I'm sorry, some of the Transformers stuff, because they keep coming out with, it's like they just want to keep showing off reissues. In fact, hang on, let me head over here. And I don't blame them. I mean, as expensive as Transformers or as action figures probably are to make can you imagine how expensive Transformers are? Like, forget like, we often think about, okay, all the gray parts are going to go in a sprue, maybe the red parts are going to go in a sprue, whatever, right? But when Transformers have so many more parts, even if they're on the same sprue and maybe the cost isn't that crazy, even with a bunch more parts, people have to assemble all those extra parts. So I wonder if, while reissues are obviously a huge cost savings, I wonder if reissuing Transformers is even more of a cost savings that when we're or than what we're thinking of, or than what I'm thinking of. So for instance, this Snarl has been out before. He's in stock at BBTS for about 10 bucks more than he initially sold for, which is still far cheaper than what you can find him on places like eBay and Amazon for. But again, a reissue here. And then if we keep going, Ultra Magnus is another reissue. And that thing, for all I know, was up to something like $250 or $300 on eBay. So the fact that they're reissuing it for 90, that's pretty nice. I'm stoked about that. I do need the Galvatron. I just haven't picked him up yet. Jazz is getting a reissue from the very first series, the Studio Series 86. And if I kept going, I'd probably find more. Him Swoop is awesome, by the way. Oh, yep, there was one. Frenzy. Now, Frenzy, I think when he came out, he was like 12 bucks. Wasn't he 11.99 or something? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is $6 more than what he initially came out at. But if you order it, it's still cheaper than if you go to eBay or Amazon. So you're kind of playing that game. BBTS kind of knows what it's doing in that area. I do wonder if these are things that only BBTS is going to get, because I knew that Snarl was rumored way back when as coming out, like as being reissued next year. So I'm wondering if maybe BBTS just got him first and the rest of the world gets him next year. But I'll be honest, I wasn't willing to take that chance. So Snarl's on his way. Ratbat, just not sure. Or Ratbat, good lord, man. Frenzy, I'm not sure. But yeah, the Perceptor, the Ramhorn, and the Ratbat look pretty amazing. I'm pretty excited about those. But again, Perceptor is a reissue. The Ratbat, I think, was just tweaked from another version. So I don't know. I don't know. I think reissues for Transformers in particular save quite a bit, but I think that a lot of companies should look back in their catalogs and say, okay, what were the very best figures we ever did? It's time to reissue them because, well, it costs us a lot of money to do things. So yeah, that's where I'm at with all that, with all the reissue things. I do want to highlight real quick too. What else did we have? Here we go. They've been reissuing a lot of stuff in the War for Cybertron. Trailbreakers, one of my favorite Transformers of all time, but rumor has it that they're going to re-release or reissue again that 5-pack of Autobots from last year. So I'm kind of like, well, I prefer the solid colors to the translucent. I mean, I think the translucent looks better, but I think the solid colors are a lot more durable. And then this Skywarp, I mean, Sideswipe here, he's all good and everything. The Skywarp is rad, but they're all reissues. So I'm just curious. I'm wondering how much of all these lines moving forward are going to stick with the reissue game. In fact, let's click on this. We'll sit here and I'll head back to the chat. After this, we'll get into some Beyithirr talk. But first, what do you all have to say? I think they have that in the cartoon, but give me Cobra Troopers, give me bats. Man, I need them to have more characters with just black gloves. Like kind of how Cobra Commander has a bunch of black glove hands and all that. If they released, say, a few troop builders with that set of hands, I could be set. I could get a ton of hands that way. I wouldn't hate buying some Cobra troop builders that way. Then I could give some of those hands to other figures. Oh, that'd make me happy. Like, I specifically am annoyed that Hawk didn't have extra hands. And that Hawk with MMS, that looks awesome. But again, not extra hands. Sci-fi. I went to Fans Hobby and bought the Air Eagle vehicle for the Joes. The Air Eagle vehicle. I wonder. Oh, Air Eagle. Was that? Did they do a Skyhawk? I'm ordering two Death Dealers from Savage Crucible. Haven't decided if I'm ordering the Frazetta Girls Conan. That's the one thing, man. If they could just add a little bit more waist and a little bit more elbow, I'd be far more tempted by the Frazetta Girls stuff. Stars, anyone heard any more about the potential abomination that would slash will be the live action Transformers G.I. Joe crossover film? I have not, and I'm hoping there's a very good reason for that, and that reason being that it was scrapped. I talked before about how I don't like tomato juice and I don't like vodka, but I tried making, one of those. Ugh, ah, the whole Bloody Mary thing, and I thought, okay, maybe two negatives makes a positive. That ain't how math works, people. That thing was horrible. And considering the Transformers movies have now become a negative for Paramount, considering the G.I. Joe movies have always been a negative for Paramount, I can't see that being a good business decision. I mean, even if they got the right people and they did right by the properties, those brands are burned right now. You got to wait a while before you try something like that. Makes me sad, but I think that's the truth. The Toy Odyssey. Matthew, if you are, do it at their site. Much cheaper than BBTS. Yep. Skew Raider. Hands come out of Retro Stalker and Green Shirt. Other guy can work for any other OG-13 dudes. Falcon, somebody if needed too. Falcon, huh? Everything I have to say about Falcon would be some kind of joke that might be somewhat inappropriate. So I'm going to keep going. Mr. Manson, I got two Snake Armors and Footloose and Law and Order. Nice. I think that's probably two Snake Armor. Yeah, I think Law and Order and Footloose seem to be the ones people were stoked about. And the Snake Armors, obviously. Awesome Joe drops. Agreed. Absolutely, Skew. Did you dig the live stream, Dreadnought's rodeo outfits of the Joe team? I thought that was hilarious. Like, I love that they totally played into it. And I even thought, obviously, it was cheesy, all planned out. But I even liked when they say to Emily at the end, they're like, hey, can we show one more thing? No, no, you cannot. And then at the end, is she gone? And they show off the Zartan. I thought that was just funny. Like, I think those people actually enjoy working on that brand and it shows, which is always cool to see. Anton, of course you need to guard. Who's going to guard the perimeter? Well, yeah. I mean, maybe that's it. Doesn't that, like, isn't that kind of mutton junkyard or Law and Order? I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to find that out. Let's see. That Perceptor looks fire. Can't lie. Yeah, I'm a fan. And again, he's got the solid red on his chest piece, so I'm pretty excited about him. Clankatron. Recently, they've been reissuing very popular figures, so they are making their money for them. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just wondering, and we've talked about this kind of thing before. I'm wondering, are they really like? I can see a time where unless action figures and Transformers makes a big comeback, I can see probably about 50% of a line being reissues. And would that be a problem? Would that be difficult? Because suddenly the people that are buying wouldn't buy those 50% because they probably got most of them, but they'd be good for the newer collectors. But then are newer collectors really coming in? I don't know. There's a lot of business questions to ask when it comes to that stuff. Hola, late due to movie night. That's all right, John. What did you guys watch this fine evening? Movie night. I got that little witty movie night. Anton. Well, I see why they reissued because they look like they walked right out of the cartoon. They're reissued too, like this set, the one with Skywarp, was something like $300 or $400 on eBay. So Reissuing that was nice. Skew reissues are a nice consideration for all companies if possible, with differences if needed. Yeah, I think you're I mean, yeah, that's pretty spot on. I just wonder at what point is it too much with the reissues, you know? Like where's the diminishing returns? John, definitely go with solid over translucent. My Prowl broke due to translucent. Ugh. Yeah, and Prowl was one I had way back when. And I do digs me my Prowl and my Trailbreaker for sure. In my opinion, too many of these IPs are stagnating. Any truly original stories for Transformers, G.I. Joe, etc., come out in the last several years? Seems like they just keep retelling the same old stories. Yeah, and I think, I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's a life cycle to this stuff, and I don't know how many times you can reintroduce it or do something to it to make it newer for another audience while maintaining the essence of what it is. I don't know. I mean, the big change when we're talking Transformers was probably going to Beast Wars. And from there, RID, I liked RID because it kind of combined Beast Wars and the regular, what we thought of as G1 at the time. But I think Armada reinvented the idea really well. Now, I can't speak to, I mean, the cartoon was okay. The stuff that they had for it, the series they had supporting them, I didn't think Armada was great. I mean, it was better than Energon and Cybertron from a storytelling perspective. But still, to this day, I will say Cybertron had the best toy designs of all Transformers shows ever, or all Transformers series. But after Cybertron, I think the next thing that really reinvigorated the brand was probably the Bay movies. And since the Bay movies have had their downward slide, nothing has really come in and tried to do anything new as far as Transformers are concerned. And G.I. Joe, nothing's allowed to do anything new because people are so worried. I mean, it is difficult when it feels like everything's on the edge of bad things happening, you know? How do you reinvigorate GI Joe? You almost have to make them futuristic sci-fi something far enough in the future. Like maybe GI Joe, you jump 500 years into the future so it's not so scary and so real world. But again, that kind of defeats the essence of GI Joe. So I'm wondering if some of these are really running their course and it's time for new stuff. The problem there again is most companies aren't going to spend the kind of money needed to market really new stuff. So they're in a bind. And that's why I wonder about Hasbro's licensing model. They're not going to be able to put out enough stuff or good enough stuff. I mean, we've seen it for years to really get people stoked about their IPs. So eventually, people are just going to stop licensing out their stuff because they're going to lose money on it. So I don't know. I want Transformers and GI Joe to last forever. I want Star Wars. I don't think it's going to happen unless something radical happens with the IPs, and just nothing is right now. Energon is about why? Clankatron's solid colors are more durable, but the way they did the Autobot 5-pack made them look cheaper than translucent windows, in my opinion. Clankatron, you're not wrong. When I first saw the pictures of those, I thought they were like tiny figures. And then I started seeing reviews and I'm going, okay, they don't look so bad. One thing that I would probably do for my figures, because I do agree with you, I don't like the flat blue. Stronger figures for sure, but that flat blue kind of bugs me. So I would probably cut out of, oh, what's the material? I should know this. It's not regular sticker paper. It's like it's like the kind of paper that color forms were. I would probably cut some white lines out through that and just kind of stick them on there. And that way they'd be super removable. So whenever I got bored with them, I could take them off. I think that would solve the problem because I've thought about that too. I don't like the blue just being a flat blue. If they just add a little bit of reflecting paint, that would have looked a lot better. But I think we can correct that fairly easily. See, to pop off, they finally started a 1/18th line. Dang it. Who started the 1/18th line? I'm all over the place, aren't I? Flatliner, what's going on, man? They're doing my favorite Snake Eyes version 4 with the blue. I love Snake Eyes version 4. I think their version of it is my favorite. I love that they toned down the orange a little bit, but still kept it there. I thought it looked really good. I do wish that, again, just like most anything G.I. Joe, I wish he had extra hands, but I was tempted even without. But without, I'm out. So he'd be a perfect one to release figures that come with tons of extra black hands, because I would probably pick that Snake Eyes up. Air Eagle, aka Skyhawk. I thought I saw a third-party Skyhawk out there. Thank you, Sci-Fi. I wasn't 100% though. Technically, let's see, Rise of Cobra made money, but it didn't really reinvigorate the brand, like the toy sales weren't very good. So I want something, and Sigma 6 was a big change, but I don't know that that was a big change for the better. It didn't seem to stick around. I don't know. I don't know what to do with these brands. Tragic Dave, you need me to fix you a bloody? Oh, not even. Oh, those are nasty. No one should drink those, Tragic. They're bad for you. Have a rum and coke for breakfast instead. Mimosas are also acceptable. Skew Raider, grats on Air Eagle fan toys, George. Also your pickups, Matthew and everyone. Yeah, it's been a good year, I think, for a lot of good stuff. Anton, if you really want a Transformers movie, watch the one from the 80s. And that's when it was at its height, popularity wise, I think. I mean, some would argue Michael Bay made him more popular, but if we're talking when it comes to actual toys, nothing's going to beat the huge aisles of just Transformers toys from when they were super popular in the 80s. And if anything, what we've learned is the IPs, they make money in the merchandise. And I don't remember seeing a ton of Michael Bay Transformers designs lining the shelves at any store. There were a lot when it was popular, but it wasn't like the 80s. Tragic. I did get 2 snake armors to go with my Mezco Void mech. That Mezco mech looks awesome. I know I said no means no, but yes, it's so much easier to say when buying toys. I know, Tragic. See, I think you just need to buy way more. I mean, you've got a basement to fill now, I hear. Well, soon you'll have a basement to fill. So more things need to be purchased. Sci-fi, use a Gundam black paint pen and draw a thin mustache on the brown skin green shirt for a young stalker. That would be, that might be the way. Get a retro stalker, and then, see, I have to get a retro stalker anyway, because you need his camo pattern. Like, I would get the original Stalker that they came out with because I like that look a little more. Like, I don't like the retro looks a lot of the time. I like that kind of more updated look that he had, but I don't think the new hands fit those ports. And even if they did, I don't know. I don't know. I would love to be able to put together a Stalker, but I need the camo. Oh, so many choices. All right, let's go a couple more, then we'll get into that big green guy. Star, I want to see a G.I. Joe story of the Joe survivors following an apocalyptic event. Nothing holding them together but their love for what truly matters to them most. I want to see what they're made of. That's kind of, I mean, it may as well have been an apocalyptic event in, what was it? The second one. Was that one Retaliation? Because like they wipe out all the Joes, but 4 or 5 of them. Let's see. We watched the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Enjoyed it, but it won't be for everyone. Okay. See, I when I was watching those trailers, I thought that would be a blast to check out, but I heard the reviews weren't that great. So you enjoyed it though, John. I might check it out. Because I remember being kind of stoked about that flick, and then everybody was like, "Yeah, don't watch that." Clankatron, that's a great question. Reissues are always good for everyone, but they have to pick and choose what to reissue and what to hold off on. Siege Prowl was a bad choice, facts, but that Skywarp is a good one. Yep, yep. Yeah, that Siege Prowl totally came out of left field, and I was confused. Get through a couple of years here, Anton. Transformers Prime was pretty cool, where they teamed them up with a bunch of kids as their guardians. I like Transformers Prime, but I'm not sure it reinvigorated the franchise. You know what I mean? Like it didn't make the Transformers more popular, I don't think. Or said G.I. Joe in the past, said it in the past in the 80s. That could happen too. I mean, we could have we could go way back. Like G.I. Joe could be Knights. Skew, parachute and ejection and seat budget are the real Joe live action holdups. Gotta get it right. I likes it. Okay. I have buried the lead for far too long here. Sorry about that, gang. But hey, the chat's always entertaining. Let's look at this little guy here. Beyithirr, the Pillar of the West dragon action figure. Would you even call this an action figure? I mean, it's got articulation, it'll move, but I don't see this knowing the size and think to myself, action figure. I've got Gideon next to me. I think of that as an action figure. I think of this as just like a centerpiece. Like this is probably going to be the centerpiece. I have the Galactus and I have the GI Joe classified his tank. Those are sweet. But Beyithirr, if I were to pick him up, that's a centerpiece. And I wanted to go through because I woke up today, I saw the stuff that said fully funded. I wanted to go through what we've got here. 2,000 units sold. So Beyithirr is fully funded and will enter production. Sir Benegar base figure will also be included in this package by default. 2,500 units will get Sir Benegar upgrade weapon set and soft goods added. 3,000 units, that's when the skeleton shows up. 3,500s, that's their upgrade set for the skeleton. And then they've added, and we knew about this last time, what happens when 4,000 units are sold? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hypothesize that 4,000 units are going to sell pretty easily. I don't know. I don't know what the final number is going to be. I don't even want to pretend to guess what the final number is going to be. But we're halfway through a campaign that seems to be moving at a steady clip instead of having that lull in the middle that just takes forever before the last couple days when things shoot back up. I'm thinking this is still going to be going. By the time I am at MuskyCon, I'd be willing to bet, considering Friday's tomorrow, that I'll be able to congratulate whatever Four Horsemen representatives are there on the 2,500 units sold, meaning we'll get the Sir Benegar upgrade weapons and set and soft goods. But yeah, I think this thing's going to get 4,000 units sold easily. So, with that in mind, this I leave to those of you who've been collecting Mythic Legions for quite some time. What do you think the 4,000 units sold stretch goal is going to be for this beast? And while you guys are thinking about that, I'll go back and try and catch up on the chat here. Hasbro, what is paint? That is not nice. Energon Universe, to be clear, 1/18th new line started finally. Okay. Okay, so Energon with wait, that was Ironhide and Kicker. No. 1/18th. Kicker was 1/18th, wasn't he? Tragic. They just need to make a G.I. Joe movie that isn't woke and stick to the storyline. If they want to get creative, Crossover comic with cartoon. I'm not even gonna go with any kind of woke talk or anything. I think if they went back and basically just retold the first few issues of the GI Joe Larry Hama run, even if they updated it, and when I say update it, just make it where instead of things happening in Vietnam, make it where it happens somewhere in the Middle East, because that's where a lot of our guys have been fighting the last 20 years. And then just upgrade it like that or update it like that. And then just talk about, like, all the lines are the same, the story's the same, the plot's the same. Just, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I wish, even then though, like, yes, you keep in the spirit of the original GI Joe, but what do you do to advance it forward for people today? I don't know. Like, everything we love or loved as kids in the 80s, 90s, it needs a renaissance. And I don't know what the answer is. If I did, I would absolutely be throwing it out there to all these companies and saying, "Hey, let me do this. This is what's up. This is what we need to do." Because I feel these brands deserve people that really want to make it work. I just don't have the ideas. I want the ideas though. I can make them pretty when they finally decide to make them. Hello, Brick. What's going on there, man? Thanos, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Oh, yeah. Brick, I mean, he's funded now, Brick. So you got to go for it now. All right. Buy more toys, buy more comics, buy more toys, buy more comics. Well, now that you put it that way, Anton, I don't think I have a choice. I think Muskie Khan is just going to come after Mr. Stabby. It might be the first time in my life that Mr. Stabby actually runs away, but who knows? All right, what do we got? What do we got? John, The Ministry was an awesome movie. Henry Cavill and Alan Reacher with Dr. Mbanga. Everyone was awesome. Okay, I don't know who the doctor is. I know Alan Ritchson. Obviously, anybody in the nerd sphere knows Henry Cavill. We need somebody. We need a Henry Cavill fighting for Transformers and GI Joe and all those lines or all those properties that we love so much, that can stick to the spirit but advance it somehow. I don't know. It's more of an articulated play set. That might be what's up, Star. That might be the way to think about it. Because, yeah, it was like, is it really an action figure? Would you call it an action figure? I mean, it's rad and it can move like an action figure, but that thing looks like it needs an upgraded name. I just don't know. Maybe an action playset is the way. If they're gonna do a Joe movie, they need to embrace it fully. Serpentor, Bats, even the OG GI Joe and his people. You know what, Sci-Fi? Today, with what we can do with everything, I'm wondering, since you bring that up, I wonder, like, I remember when I was a kid, I couldn't stand the Cobra Law stuff. And it was after the G.I. Joe movie that G.I. Joe kind of fell off. I'm not saying it was the G.I. Joe movie's fault. It was just that time frame. It was like that fell off. Then there wasn't much animation that was good. Like the Deke series was out there. I'm wondering if they tried to make the cartoon G.I. Joe the movie today with all those sci-fi elements. I wonder how that would do in a live action format. That might be that might be something that's a little entertaining. That might help. I'm not sure though. Do you consider Galactus an action figure? Marvel Legends Giant Man. Galactus was, I wouldn't call him an action figure, Brick, only because whenever I pose him, it's a chore. Like, it's tough to do. But again, kind of like, I don't know what the upgrade call would be on him. I mean, he's cool. I love having him in the collection, but man, is that tough. Skew, Dragon Pillar, Lord of Designated Driving, and Sir Benegar's there. I mean, we need a lot of horses so they can carry Beyithirr out of there. But, you know, Your Highness, your ride is prepared. I'm telling you. There's in Vegas or around Vegas, there's a lake called Lake Mead. And I'm pretty sure if Beyithirr was really thirsty, he'd go to Vegas, he'd spend some time at the slot machines, then he'd just gulp up Lake Mead because everybody knows all mead is beer. So he'd just drink that up, go nuts, and then Sir Benegar would have hopefully not an angry dragon. That's something we didn't discuss. Is Beyithirr an angry drunk? Because you don't want an angry dragon that's just going to spit fire. So hopefully, I mean, it would be best probably if he didn't drink. But then Lake Mead, I don't know. I'm all over the place right now. Clearly, my brain can't keep up. Tragic. I'm already designing a diorama cave for him. Oh, man. Oh, man. Mamas. That's going to be pretty. See who's getting all five. See, Thanos, that's my worry. Okay, this one's going to be, if I were to jump in, I feel like I would have to jump all in. And that would put it at $1,000. Does that mean the next four, even if they're not dragons, are going to be $1,000 a piece? Or with inflation, is by the time they get to the fifth one, is that going to be $2,000? That's my worry. Like Beyithirr himself doesn't worry me. It's what comes after Beyithirr that has me kind of freaking out a bit, because I know my mind, if I get the one pillar, I'm going to need the other four. Anton, no, it's not an action figure. That dragon is a pet that has a magic spell on it. That might be right. That might be closest to accurate. All right, I'm sure BBTS will scoop up some. Oh, yeah, for sure. But the upcharge would kill me. Although, hey, if they actually shipped it for $4, that might not be so bad. Galactus and the Dragon pose battle. Is it possible? Drone may be needed. That's true. I did find out that you can set drone. I don't know much about drones. You can have a hover mode, so it can just sit there over the scene. And so you could get some really cool pictures that way. But then you'd also have it fly around them for an epic battle. Sci-fi, once 4,000 units sell, you'll get everything for free. There you go. Done. Done. See, if that happened, I wouldn't worry so much about the other four pillars. Tragic. LED and mini fog machine will be installed. Just thinking on how and where to put things. I mean, tragic. I guess, actually, I was going to say, you don't even have the new basement yet, so how would you know? But if you're designing the cave, you're probably trying to figure out where to put all those in the cave, aren't you? Never mind. Never mind. My brain stopped working there. Skew, a dragon throne with gold hoard for yon designated driving comfort. What have we done to poor Benegar? Oh, boy. He's like, this is what I'll really do. I thought that the dragon was supposed to come with 2 sets of wings. There's another wing set. You can buy, so the dragon himself is what you see in the picture. And then you can buy the extra head with a fire breath and the burning night. And then the other set is the wings and I think a ashen zombie, if I'm not mistaken. Each of the added sets are $150. So all in here, you're looking at $850 plus shipping and tax. Sorry, Brick. I clicked it too fast. Yep, 4,000 will hit easily. There was less incentive to order early since they charge immediately and no early bird offering. So the fact that they've hit 2,000 plus after 9 to 10 days tells me we're good. Yeah, for sure. Like, even if it didn't hit 2,000 for another week, I'd still be pretty confident in 4,000. RP, I think at 4,000 it's going to be 2 additional figures with soft goods. RP, good to see you. I'm not sure I've seen your name on here before, so thank you for stopping by. That would be cool. Two additional figures with soft goods. I do like I said earlier in the stream, I've got a Sir Gideon next to me, and I really like the soft goods they've got on him. So a couple extra figures with soft goods would be fine by me. Mr. Madsen Star, the second set is 150 extra. Yep, there you go. Brick Star comes with two wings. There you go. Yep. You guys all see, I should just read the comments before I start answering questions. You guys have it covered. Mr. Matson, thank you for that. I was wondering and haven't seen anything about it. You know what's weird? I think people are less stoked about the huge wings than they are about the head that spits the fire, which I can understand. But I feel like the wings are the things that, I mean, they'll fund because they're on their way for sure. But they definitely, at least last time I saw the chart, it looked to me like they had the least amount of funding. Like they still are going to make it easily, but people seem more excited about the dragon and that whole firehead. Mr. Matson, let's go to the buy more. Hopefully Chuck and Casey are still there saving the world. Oh boy. Dave, we can relive the G.I. Joe 80s, but with updated tech, kind of how the new Fantastic Four looks. That campy, see, that would be kind of cool. That would, you'd get G.I. Joe time traveling, which they've done before. Yep, that would be awesome. Or was it time travel? No, I'm thinking about when they went to kind of an alternate timeline where Steeler was killed and he and Baroness were a couple, all that stuff. Rick, not sure about what they could offer as a stretch goal for the 4,000 mark. I had ideas, but on Monday I was on Legion's Lounge and Trevor from Four Horsemen pointed out they'd have to fit in the box as is. Oh, okay. So we are talking. So another figure might be, maybe? I don't know. I mean, those were huge boxes. The dragon probably is the dragon. I can't imagine he's going to come fully assembled. Like the wings, at least, would be off, and possibly the tail, maybe the head. I don't know. Oh man, see there's that, but we don't know how tightly it's going to be packed, or if because there's no way that they could have gotten the packaged engineering going yet, right? Because they don't know what all is going to fund. I mean, obviously everything's going to fund, but ooh, I don't know. That is an interesting. That's a different puzzle to work with. Clankatron, I think G.I. Joe needs to take a step back and focus on military versus terrorists, then ease to the weirder aspects like Cobra Law. See, I think I would love that personally, but I don't think today's ready for military versus terrorists. But today could be ready for Cobra Law. That's my whole thing. But I might be wrong. It might be that you're right. I know that all of us G.I. Joe fans would love that, but is it too close to home? Whereas G.I. Joe versus what may as well be just monsters would be less close to home, you know? If I bought that dragon, it would be the catalyst for divorce proceedings. Not enough room in the house for both Beyithirr and a wife, so I'm told. Well, never mind. Guys, you ever have those thoughts that go into your head and there's like three things you can say and you know you can't say any of them? I was, yeah. Sometimes my brain should just shut up. Brick can't add too much weight or require redesign of packaging since they already priced those and charged people for it. So if they couldn't add too much weight, so we'd have to know what fits within the parameters of the costing. So we're definitely looking at things like extra weapons could be okay. extra hands, are we looking at the possibility of more figures? RP, that's why I have a feeling it will be two figures with soft goods. It shouldn't be too much heavier to fit in the box. Let's see, fit in the box, and people will likely be satisfied with it. I mean, yeah, I like holding on to Gideon. He's not a super heavy guy. I'm wondering, I don't know what he weighs though. Like, and I don't know when we don't know the exact weight of the box and everything else, we don't know where the upcharge is, right? So, like, when I was sending, I sold a lot of smaller figures years ago. And if it jumped over, it was either 3.5 or 4 ounces, then it would add a lot more cost. Not a lot more, but if it was, say, $2 or $3 before that, it would add another dollar after that. So I'm wondering what happens. I'm wondering where all the brakes are at that high a weight. And it might be that the brakes are further and far between when you get to be that weighty on the box, but I don't know. I've never tried to send anything 35 pounds. Let's see, I'm not in, but if I were, I could easily get just get the base dragon. Fire add-on is really cool, and I'd want that, but I know that I wouldn't need it. The base offering is truly badass as is. You are not wrong, Brick. This thing is beautiful. I wish I'd seen it in person. I know the Four Horsemen said that they were going to have something this weekend on Friday night where they'd have possibly like the fire breathing head and some of that stuff, but I just can't make it Friday night. So hopefully they have something at their booth on Saturday. Let's see. The second pair of wings are 24 by 20. Yes. Yeah, them's is big. See, is there any relation between Beyithirr and that dragon man that was released earlier? Oh, what was his name? Are you talking the blue one? Arakagor, is that right? And I don't know. I don't think we know a whole lot about Beyithirr yet. The graphic novels I would recommend if you want them would definitely be the beginnings of Invincible Spider-Man, Life Story, Spider-Man Dead No More, Hellboy, and The Crooked Man. I would be I need to look at more of this stuff. I need to join in. I need to jump back into the nerd pool head first, like I haven't been already with toy stuff, but like jump into the rest of the nerd pool, you know? Yeah, Dave, I was thrown too when Trevor brought it up. Ah, Trevor. Anton, you're thinking of the classic two-parter words. Let's see, Worlds Without End. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of, Anton. That was the one where they went to kind of a different universe with Steeler, Baroness, all that stuff. Cobra had taken over. Star, the ancient dragons of mythos are legendary creatures that are revered and even worshipped in some circles. Over the centuries, there have been countless subraces and offshoots of these ancient beasts, with the Dragoseer being the most renowned. Like their dragon cousins, these mystical beings have close ties to otherworldly energies, which often steer these towering warriors toward magical button pushing practices. Ooh, I may have read that. I don't remember. I was looking at the Four Horsemen's website for a while, just reading a bunch of that stuff. Perhaps the stretch goal would be a saddle and special rider figure to put on the dragon's back. Oh man, a saddle would be a blast. That wouldn't add too much weight, and it probably could just be on the dragon. Like that way, it wouldn't add a lot more space needed in the box either. Ooh, I don't know about the figure, but a saddle for the dragon star, that might be something. Hmm. Skew, a Monty Python Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch and Killer Rabbit might be good light pack hands for Beyithirr. They need to do one of those rabbits. The four horsemen need to do the rabbit. Do the wabbit, do the wabbit. Sorry, my bad. Star Brick. Eric is such a master. He can make that work easily. Yeah, a saddle might be perfect, actually. If you meant like, are they cousins? I don't know, but Dragosir, the humanoid, do have a relation to the dragons. Ah, I'll be jumping. Flatliner, just saw your post of action figure crossovers, a photo thread. You about to be sick of me for my constant crossover pics. Flatliner, I can't wait till I have everything all organized. I used to comment, like respond back to all those photos, and I just have not been able to the last few months. So when I'm able to, I'm going to be stoked, and I don't get sick of anybody's photos. Like truly, if you guys have fun taking the photo, that's what matters. So yeah, I don't knock them. I just look at them and I'm amazed. I'm thrilled that people are taking pictures of their stuff. Truly, the more the merrier. Star Brick, is Beyithirr just a dragon, or is he more of a supernatural being? Just a dragon? Star, look at this thing. There's no just anything here. This is just a beast and a wallet killer. Yeah. We sharp pointy teeth. Rick Beyithirr is one of the ancient dragons, yes, and at least some, if not all, of the other pillars of mythos are dragons. Beyithirr is the pillar of the West, and there are four others. Ah, stinking Beyithirr. Invincible is definitely worth reading because that story is just a real roller coaster ride. I've heard like the series people went nuts for. Skew, run away, catapult with cow not included. I love the saddle idea. That's they need to start. That's what they need to do. Would Mythic fans go crazy if they just started putting in Monty Python stuff? Like I think that would be hilarious, but I don't know if others would. He hasn't responded to a single photo dump I've done on his posts. I haven't. I haven't. I've been terrible, Mr. Matson. I gotta get more time, but I think I'm finally about there. One pillar for each cardinal direction and a pillar of the underworld. The pillar of the underworld's the fun stuff. Star Beyithirr is one of the five pillars. Yep. Designated driver pillar is yonder, bestest dragon amongst carpools. That's, you know what? Now one of the dragon's names needs to be yonder or bestest. Star, I didn't know if the dragons were a race or if they were a finite number. Ah, see, I don't know enough. I gotta really kind of read up on this stuff. Also, I forgot I posted the image of blocky Optimus Prime on the Optimus on the hoverboard like I promised you the other day. I don't know if you saw. I see him. I'll go back and double check. But I've been trying to at least like stuff, but I haven't even been, and it'll be just like because I'm just thrilled that so many are taking pictures. But yeah, I'm ready for more pillars to be revealed. I think they'll be awesome. I do too, Skew. I do too. And my wallet, Mr. Stabby, is sad about those awesome pillars. All right. Is there an overworld or upper world to counter the underworld? I'm going to assume that's what the other four pillars are because they said there's five pillars and they didn't bring up anything like they said the directions, like Brick said. So there's east, west, north, south, and then there's underworld, but they didn't mention any other like upper world. So my assumption is to battle the underworld, it's going to be the other four pillars, but I could be wrong. They might be having a lot of fun with this story. Flatliner, I totally get it, man. You got a lot of people following you, and dare I say, hanging on your every word. Oh man, I hope not. I hope not, Flatliner. You don't want to hang on my every word. But it is cool to have a lot of people following and checking those photos, man. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite parts of doing this, to be very honest. Don't know, Star, but there's nothing saying there aren't dragons that aren't pillars. Oh, that's a good call, Brick. The reemergence of Beyithirr is the first time a dragon's been seen in centuries. It's the start of the next story arc. Woo, woo, this could be fun. All right, guys, let's just go another couple minutes. Then I'm gonna get out of here. But we'll see what we got. There was a line of Monty Python action figures. Mixing your Monty Python, maybe that's what Mythic Legions needs to do in their Infinite Legion series. Some Monty Python figures. Stabby needeth not know exclusive Mythic Dave shirt up into being this fortnight. Poor Stabby is hiding. Stabby is hiding. I don't let him watch these live streams, so we're good. Good night, everyone. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for stopping in, Anton. I appreciate it. RP, what if they haven't mentioned the Pillar of Heaven, Golden Dragon? Oh, that'd be pretty sweet. And it's possible, like these guys might be the pillars, but maybe there's like an ultimate, like overseer kind of thing like that. I don't know. I mean, the imaginations these guys have are pretty awesome. And I could see it going that way or not going that way at all. Either way, it's going to be a fun ride to just stay on top of the pillars, even if you don't go in on Mythic Legions, you know? Excuse 1/6 Sideshow Money were awesome. Oh, I didn't know those were a thing. Sci-fi, I think the underworld will be the orc mafia, dealing death and protection for a price. See, orcs that are skeletons, I'm telling you, you just add skeletons to any of these ideas and it makes them 10 times cooler. Star Brick, that dragon is so popular. I'm seeing dragons in Mythos being a major hit for Four Horsemen, and rightly so. I'm thinking a lot more are on the way. It could very well be. I don't see why they wouldn't do it. Oops. If they do Monty Python, one of the knights needs to come with a dead parrot and a blood-covered white rabbit. See, the white rabbit, they don't even need to do full-on Monty Python. Just throw in things like the white rabbit. Like, there you go. And a holy hand grenade somebody's got for whatever reason. Cheers, Dave and Chad. Have a great evening and weekend. You too, Tragic. Thanks for stopping by. We'll catch up soon. I got a lot of talking to do to a lot of people. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's call this one a night. Thanks as always for stopping by. You know you could have done anything and you chose to hang out here. So I massively appreciate it. So until next time, have fun. Happy snapping.